The crochet abbreviation of a chain is CH. So when they say CH8, it means chain 8. If it is CH7, it means that you have to begin your project by making 7 chains. If you look at the pictorial representation, you will have a sort of circle going around, and this represents the chains. So if you have 3 ovals like this, it means that you have to make 3 chains. Usually there you have a arrow mark or a dot to represent where the slip knot comes and in which direction your chain is going. So that makes it easy, but oval is the pictorial representation, and you just have to count the number of ovals to count how many chains are made. Hi guys, in today's tutorial I'm going to be using Ganga's Acrowool's Rangoli Ate yarn. The recommended hook size is 5.5 mm or 5 mm, and I do have my 5 mm hook, but I found that 4.5 works more better with this, so that's what I'm going to be using today. Let's see how to make a chain. So our crochet chain is one of the most important things that we learn because it's the simplest and easiest part of crochet, and once you learn this you can make pretty much a lot of things using this crochet chain. So I got my hook ready and I've got my yarn ready. Let's make a slip knot. So you can use whatever type of slip knot that you know. I'm just going to use the one which I like. So I'm going to hold the end of the yarn in my left hand, hold my working yarn, that is the yarn connected to the, well, the cake, in my right hand, and then I'm going to bring the working yarn over the end of the yarn like so, and then bring this behind it, hang it over my index finger. Now we're going to insert the crochet hook into the middle loop and pull it up. There we go, we've got our slip knot ready. Now let's try and make chains. To make our first chain, it's a very pretty simple concept. You just have to go, so this is our working yarn, right? You have to bring your hook under the working yarn and you grab onto the yarn like so, and then you just have to pull it through your loop. You already have a loop on your crochet hook. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go under the working yarn, and then you're just going to simply pull the loop through the loop that you already have. Okay, we already have one loop. We're going to go under the working yarn, we're going to grab on to the yarn and then just pull it through like this. You're going to grab and pull it through, grab, pull it through, grab, pull it through. If you are an absolute beginner, which you have to be, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this tutorial, right? As a beginner, I suggest that you practice this chain over and over again so that it forms a pretty neat chain. So I'll tell you what happens if you use a smaller hook or a larger hook. So we're going to use a larger hook here, and we're going to do the same thing: grab, pull, grab, pull, grab, pull, grab, pull. As you can see, the chain is going to be a little bit bigger than the one which we made using a smaller hook. So if you're going to use a hook which is bigger than the recommended size for your yarn, your chains are going to be bigger and looser. And if you use a smaller hook than the recommended size, your chains are going to be tighter and smaller. So where this difference is going to come is if you have a tight tension, you can use a bigger crochet hook so that your chains are loose, and if you have a very loose tension, you can use a smaller hook at the beginning so that you get a tighter chain, and then your work will get adjusted. I tried a project which uses just the simple chain to make a pretty cute headband. I will put the link in the description box. You can try it, or you can even make a small hanging like this. Let's see how to make this pretty cute and easy wall hanging. This is one of the projects that you can use, or you can make using just the chains. So I really love this project, and let's see how to make that. Let's take a normal stick or a dowel or whatever you have. It is pretty much an easy to make project, so you can use a smaller toothpick also, you can use a larger one, you can use dowels, you can use whatever you want. And we're just going to make a slip knot to begin. Okay, once you have your slip knot ready, all you're going to do is you have to hold the stick in your left hand and then bring your yarn behind the stick, and then you have to just hold both the stick and the end of the yarn, and then you just make your fast chain. There you go. And then you can just keep making however many chains you want. It's such an easy project that it is very customizable. You can have it, you can make long chains, or you can make chains which are varying in height so that it makes this kind of V shape. It is completely up to you. Once you have your desired number of chains, all you have to do is just snip it off, okay, and then just pull the end of the yarn and pull it tight. And then all you have to do is just snip off the excess, but don't snip it off too close, because that is going to make sure that you if you snip it off too close, your project is just going to unravel. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave a little bit gap and then snip off the ends, and then just apply some glue over the back, and then you just stick it and it just stays in place. In the end, you just have to make a longer chain so that it reaches the other side, and then tie it up like you will normally tie shoes. And then make sure to apply glue at both ends so that it stays strong. And your simple project is pretty much done. After making a few chains, don't just stop and move on to the next crochet thing that you can learn, because the most important thing in crochet is to have an even tension throughout your project, which is going to take a lot of time to learn. So it is better to always start in the beginning. So when you have an even tension, your project is going to look beautiful instead of a wonky piece of da that you actually want to throw away. So just don't rush, don't move on to the next project that you can try. Keep making the chains. Chain 100, chain 200, it's a lot of work, but make sure you perfect your chains. Make sure that each chain looks exactly the same. And once you've done that, you can definitely move on to the next project that you can make. Tension is very important, and if you are unable to control your tension, you can also use this small trick, but I will advise you to practice and make as many chains as possible and become very good at this. Okay,